Hello, hello, and welcome back to Mindfully Rich Podcast, your weekly look at life and finances with a twist, where we talk about improving your overall relationship with money and building better financial habits to increase your financial freedom in life. On each episode, I'll be discussing real life situations and give y'all practical advice to apply to your financial life. The point of this podcast is to help you enhance your financial behaviors, to keep you financially healthy, and so that you don't end up broke. I'm the creator and host, Richie. Now let's get started and into today's conversation, darlings. What's up, y'all? Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. I know what y'all thinking. You about to say I'm late. I'm not. I am right on time, okay? And yes, this is pretty much the first official real episode of the new year. If you listen to last week's episode, it was kind of like an introduction. It was like a trailer almost, but I kind of made it into kind of like the podcast is why I created Mindfully Rich Podcast. I made it into like an episode, but it wasn't really an episode like we about to get into today. So this is like the real true one, okay? And we are on week 3? Tuesday, this previous Tuesday, January 19th, a queen was born. I just celebrated my 36th birthday. Y'all, let me tell you what. Everybody showed me love, and I was just, I don't even know, I don't even have the words because I use the word excited a lot. But what I can say is that I truly felt the love this year. And I'm going to tell y'all what I end up doing. The eve of my birthday, I wrote a prayer. And I was sitting in my bed and I was thinking, I was playing back, cards that my mom, she had wrote me for my previous birthdays because I've memorized them. And so I was playing it back in my head. So I was kind of like in an emotional mood. And so what I end up doing for my birthday post, because we got to do a birthday post. For that post, I just listed my prayer, everything that I'm manifesting for my 36th chapter of my life, and so that was something that it was very vulnerable of me to do that just because anyone who knows me knows what I'm manifesting. I'm one of those people where if I'm looking to do something or get something, I'm going to tell you about it just because I'm not scared of being transparent, of being vulnerable and letting people know this is what I need to get. And I want all my prayer warriors out there. I want them to know, oh, that's what she believing for right now? Okay, bet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lift her up in prayer for that. I'm not afraid to have people pray for me just because I know that's what keeps me going. And so I wanted to put out there my 36th birthday prayer, and it was pretty cool. And for me, because I put it out there in the open, and what I'm hoping, is that everybody's going to lift me up in prayer and it's going to come true. So I could be like 3 months, 6 months, 7 months, 5 months, whatever the months is down the line and be like, hey, y'all remember when I posted that prayer? Guess what? I'm engaged. I did this. I'm doing that, okay? Because I put lots of things on that prayer. And so it was super cool. And I also just enjoyed everyone reaching out to me. I believe that this was probably the birthday where I've had the most people reach out to me or, just give me that love like I received this year. And so it really just felt good. So celebrated my birthday. So I am a little bit late. I enjoyed my birthday evening, had a great time. Went out, of course, with my fine friend. We had a good time, went to this restaurant around town. We was outside, but it felt good because, I'm from Chicago. So it's like, I don't mind the cold. I'm okay, but they had heaters by us. So it was pretty cool. So, just letting y'all know what's been going on. And actually, I've been trying to gather up the schedule because I don't know if y'all remember this, but last year I said in one of the episodes, I think it was the last episode in December, I said that I'm going to be better. I created a schedule. So I have each episode scheduled out for the next 3 months. And so super excited about that. Y'all don't even know how much that took. That was a lot. Okay. Cause I'm one of those off the cuff type people, just Bow. What I'm going to talk about today? I'm going to let the Lord go ahead and send his word to me. I don't know if y'all ever been to church, or especially black church. When you go there, sometimes the pastor just say, I prepared a word, but, I'm hearing something else, and that's how I like to do it. And so I've decided to at least have some type of rhythm with the podcast, just because we doing bigger and better things in 2021, y'all. We just gonna continue to get better. The listens have been going up. I mean, y'all listening, okay? I appreciate y'all for listening, and y'all listening from everywhere. So, hola, hello, what other languages I can say hello in, because that's where I'm at. And aloha. Hawaii is my new favorite place. Just want to go ahead and just throw that out there. I've been on vacation to Hawaii too, y'all. Woo! Y'all, okay, this is my new place. One day I'm gonna have to find an episode where I could talk about that. But child, let me tell you what, that is my new favorite place, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, and so for our Mindful Money segment, just because this year I'm only going to have the Mindful Money segment until something else just moves me. I know last year I tried out the self-care financial tips. I tried that out. There just aren't enough self-care financial tips. So I'm not even going to do that to myself this year. And so right now, only thing we're going to have at this moment is the Mindful Money segment until I find a way. This is what I'm really trying to do. I would like to have a Q&A section where y'all can leave me a voicemail or leave me one of those messages on in Instagram, or maybe it's in Facebook. I don't know. I think it's in Instagram though, where you can send your audio, and I want to have questions. So that is something that I'm really trying to do, and I want to have a segment for that. But I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do that. And I have to gather up the questions, because I would like to play the question and then answer it here on the podcast. So that's something that's in the works. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and move into our Mindful Money segment. And I don't know if y'all remember this. Y'all probably do, because y'all listen to the podcast. But my very first episode of the podcast was titled H.O.E. H.O.E. Just like that. Right? And so that episode has done very well. Y'all love it. Y'all listen to it. I mean, it is the most listened to episode. I don't know if it's just because it's my first episode. Y'all like the title. Y'all in the hoes. I don't know what it is, okay? I just know that the episode is getting all the plays, okay? So I decided that I'm going to call this episode Ho Reloaded, just because hoes know what they want. And that's what we talking about today. What you want in your financial life. And I thought that this was very fitting. HO stands for happiness over everything. That's the way I was using it. I don't know what y'all was listening for in the episode, but that's the way I was using it. And I also said something else. I said hoes know what they want. I think it's very important for us in our lives to understand what it is that we want. I don't know if y'all have ever paid attention when you're watching, say, singers or athletes, and when they're talking to them and they mention when they're younger, they say, all I ever wanted to be was a singer. All I ever wanted to do was be a basketball player or a football player, a golf player, whatever it is. And so it's something about musicians and athletes, their story that aligns, because all they talk about is what it is that they've wanted to be since they were younger, and then they end up being that. So what happens is they're practicing that all the time. If they wanted to be a musician, they were in some type of musical class, or they were in a musical group growing up, and that's all they did. For the athletes, they were in some type of athletic sport. They continued on and on so that they can perfect that craft, and then they went on to be professionals. And I think we can look at that and say, you know what, they did something right. Because a lot of us don't know what it is that we want. We don't know what we want from life. We don't know what we want in our financial life. We don't know what we want in women, men, whomever it is that you with. We don't know what it is that we truly want. And we just like throwing spaghetti at the wall. And so when I say choosing happiness over everything, I feel like when we know we want to be happy, you do things that make you happy. You do things that, or you surround yourself with things that will remind you of happiness. And so, in addition to that, because I believe when we're in a happy state, when we're in a joyful state, we can also come to some decisions of what it is that we want. And so I want to focus today on talking about what we want in our financial lives. Okay. And so when I say that, I want you to think about what you want in life, period. Just because most things that we want have some type of price tag associated with it. That's just true tea. Okay. It's not many things in life that we want unless we're talking about, you want a relationship of some sort, but relationships cost money. But, there's always a money aspect somewhere. Okay. And when I'm talking about what it is that you want from life, say you're talking about, I want to save money, or I want to have a goal of saving, say $5,000, like the Mindfully Rich 5,000 Savings Challenge that's going on right now. If you don't have those details, gotta plug that. Okay. I can't remember which conversation it was. I truly believe, if I just had to throw one out, it's conversation 40. And it has all the details for the Mindfully Rich 5,000 Savings Challenge that's going on right now. We're in week 3. You can still go ahead and jump on that. But back to what we're talking about. If you're trying to say, I want to save a certain amount of money, that's something I would like to do in my financial life. I want to pay off debt. I want to purchase a house, a car. I want to have a baby. I want to have a family. I want to get married. I want to do whatever it is that you decide you want to do. Purchase investment properties, start a business, any of those things. And we're talking about your financial life, talking about the things that you want to do that cost money. I believe that you should create some type of financial vision board so that you can go ahead and get those things jotted down on that vision board so you can see what it is that you want to do. And then you go ahead and get the clipping, get those magazines and start clipping out what it is, those things that you say you want to do. If you're trying to build a family, put some pictures. It could be you, and then you add a child, or you add whatever it is that you're trying to do. Just because the reason why I say have a baby is because babies cost money. Okay. There should be nobody that's talking about, I want to have a baby, but they don't have like some type of financial goal that they're trying to reach with having this child. You got to be able to take care of the babies now. Okay. And so building this financial vision board for yourself will keep that goal in front of you. And it's something about vision boards. I don't know if y'all are vision board people, but y'all, I make a new vision board every single year. I'm sitting here looking at my vision board right now, and it's something I want to tell you about it. Okay. And so currently right now, all over my vision board is a man. Okay. My life feels great at this moment. I literally, God has blessed me. God has truly blessed me. I have come a long way. Okay. I notated this in my birthday post as well. My 30s have been giving me lots of trials. Okay. At 30, I started going through my separation. At 32, my divorce was final. 33, I lost my mom. 34, I lost my dad. So my 30s then been something. Okay. So chapter 36, go ahead and be good to me. But what I will say is, during those years that all of that was happening, I did create a vision board. The things that I've wanted, I've manifested where I'm living currently. I'm not going to tell y'all, but I used to drive past where I live now all the time. And I'm a big believer in prayer, y'all. I'm a hood evangelist. Okay. I would stretch my hand out and say, Lord God, if you're willing, bring me here. Okay, Lord, I want this. I'm manifesting this, and I'm finally here. That took me some years. I'm going to say it probably took me about maybe 4 years to get over here, but I did it. That was something that I always had up, and I had this particular area on my vision board. I've manifested cars. I've said the cars that I wanted. Oh my goodness. I have mentioned it, said it, had it on the vision board, got it. Okay, not my most recent car. My most recent car, I went home to Chicago one year, rented the vehicle, came back to California, and got it. That was just one of those impulsive things. Okay, whole nother story. Something me and my little sister laugh about right now so whole nother story, but you get what I'm saying. And so creating a financial vision board and adding those things that you want to do will keep those things in front of you. And this was the point that I was going to make. Totally had forgot at first. On my vision board right now, right? I have travel. I'm not a big traveler. Okay. I don't travel a lot, but I did just recently go to Hawaii, and that's probably the biggest trip that I've ever been on before, y'all. Like, literally, Hawaii was everything. Okay. That's going to be my new spot. But I have travel on here, and it's so funny because the resort that I have on this, like, I had an Essence magazine and I just cut out some different pictures, and the resort that's on here, along with like the pictures that I had for travel, mimicked exactly when I got to Hawaii. It's so interesting. I did this at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, I wasn't even planning on going to Hawaii. It was just kind of one of those things that happened, family things that were going on as well, the reason why I was going out there. And so I was just like, how interesting, because I don't want to say crazy. I truly believe that we'll manifest those things if we keep those things in front of us. And so when I went to Hawaii and when I got back and I was looking at my vision board, I said, wow, that's dope. That's pretty dope. Okay, I also got some wedding rings on my vision board. And so, universe, what's up? What's up? Just saying. I am just saying, okay? I also got some checks on here with some amounts. So, we just saying. Okay? And so you get what I'm saying about having that financial vision board. Whatever it is that you're looking to do in your life, I think you need to get very clear on what that thing is, just because nothing just happens. If we go back to the story that I was talking about with the athletes and the musician, it didn't just happen. They put years and years and years of work to building their careers. Okay. And so when we know what we want, we can move in that direction. And I think some of our problem is we move out of that direction so often. I want to do this, but no, I don't. I want to do that, but no, I don't. And we don't stick to one thing. Know what you want in your life. And right now we're talking about knowing what you want to do in your financial life. So that way you could at least pinpoint what that goal is. Excuse me. And you can start making plans so that you're able to achieve that goal, so that you can start building those blocks step by step so that you can achieve that. Okay. And so just so that we're clear, I want y'all to establish a financial vision board for yourself. Having a regular vision board for yourself is absolutely great as well. You can kind of incorporate the financial aspect in there. So that way you can see, start, what I do for when it comes to paying off things. Like, I want to pay my car off, right? And I've told myself I'm paying this car off this year. I'm doing it. I have a check on my vision board that has the amount that I'm going to write that financial institution to pay it off. And it says pay off car. That's what it says on there. You can do that with checks. Do it with old checks, because just in case, I don't know who you got coming to your house and who gonna see your vision board. People ain't right sometimes when it comes to money. So I don't know what your situations is. Use old checks, or you can draw a check, whatever it is that you need to do. But have that vision in front of you, and it all starts with knowing what you want. Once again, I want to thank y'all so much for supporting the kid, and how you can continue to support me is ensuring that you are subscribed to the podcast on whatever platform you're listening on, because I'm available everywhere. That's something people will ask me. Where are you available at? Everywhere. Literally, when I got on Amazon, I was like, shut up. My podcast on Amazon? Music? I had no clue. I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay. And so ensure that you subscribe, so that way you'll get the notifications if I'm posting them on time, which is Wednesday, or if it happened to be late, like y'all getting this one on Friday, at least you'll be notified as to when it drops. And also, the Mindfully Rich $5,000 savings challenge is going on right now. I have the amounts. What is my mouth? Child? I ain't even gonna say what I was gonna say. I can't even finish it. I have the amounts posted on IG. That is the platform of choice for me at the moment. Mindfully Rich Podcast social media lives on IG at the moment. You can find it at _ y'all, I'm just not talking right. You can find Mindfully Rich Podcast at Mindfully _Rich _podcast. And I have the amounts posted. There are posts about it, and also listen to, I believe it's Conversation 40. Just go back and go listen. It's not too many far back, but it says everything that you need to know about the Mindfully Rich Savings Challenge that's going on. I even created a $2,500. I cut it in half so that way you will know the amounts to do for the $2,500 savings challenge if the $5,000 wasn't going to be a goal that you were able to make. So I want y'all to participate in that. Share it with everyone. That's how you support your girl. Share this podcast with everyone, just because I truly believe all of us deserve financial freedom in some sort. And that's a topic that I absolutely love talking about. And that's the reason why you're here. So make sure that you share the episodes and talk to me. Let me know if you heard the episode and it was dope. Go ahead and tag me on that so I can let everybody know you listening. And I can, that feels good. That's how we build community. Others will know, oh, shoot, that conversation was good. Bet. Let me go ahead, take a look at that and let others know that you found a podcast that's dope so that way they can listen to the podcast as well, okay? I am a one-woman show, y'all. I am trying, okay? I am trying. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. There are 40 something other ones to check out if you haven't listened to those. And until next time, when I hit y'all with another one.